Guys, welcome on in to the Josh Reese Show. I am the face of Houston sports. I appreciate you guys for giving this a watch. Hopefully at the end of this video, maybe before, you feel free to like and subscribe. And at the end of the video, feel free to leave a comment about what you think or about a question or whatever you have. But we're coming to you live from Minute Maid Park right after the Astros 2-1 win over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. A huge mouthful, but yes, the Houston Astros did beat the Angels, took the series from them 3-1. They got that one weird game where they didn't pull it out, but aside from that, they ended up doing fairly well against the Angels, which is one of their only true, I don't want to say rivals, but in the AL West, you don't really think the Mariners are going to be there, although they should be there, but the Angels are someone you're going to have to contend with down the rest of the way. Right now, the Rangers just kind of look like a complete joke. But right now, it's the Astros, it's the Angels, and you just beat the Angels 3 out of 4 games. So kudos to the Houston Astros. Now they're going to head on the road for a 6-game road trip. They're going to take on the Rays and the defending, reigning AL champion Cleveland Indians. But before then, let's talk about today's game with the Astros. As aforementioned, they beat the Angels 2-1. They're facing Matt Shoemaker. For some reason, the Astros always seem to have trouble against Shoemaker. And Thursday was no different. They only mounted 2 runs against Shoemaker. Solo home run by Carlos Beltran. His first home run since that playoff series when he went bananas for the Astros back in 2004. And then also Jakey Marisnick, little Jakey Marisnick, also had a bomb right over to the Crawford boxes. Jake Marisnick continues to impress in the limited time that he does play. Could warrant some extra play down the road, but till then he's pretty much still just a reserve and a defensive replacement for the Houston Astros. But the story of the game was the pitching for the Astros. Lance McCullers no-hit the Rays up until the 5th inning. People say I was the one that jinxed it. I did not jinx it. I just told people they should be watching the Astros. If you don't watch the Astros, that's on you. And if you think that was a jinx, that's on you too. But Andrelton Simonton, I can't ever pronounce his name for the life of me. But anyways, he's a horrible offensive player, and yet he's the one that broke up Lance McCullers' no-hit bid. Go figure. But McCullers would only allow 3 hits on the day. He'd allow 0 runs, and in the 6th inning, he would end up getting pulled after allowing back-to-back walks. Chris Davinsky would come in with 1 out, and he would sit the next 2 guys down with strikeouts to get out of the inning. Now, fast forward to the 9th inning because it's pretty much boring in the 8th inning. Fast forward to the 9th, Chris Davinsky still in. The Astros did not make a change. They're going to go with Davinsky, see if he can get the save. It's 2-0 right now. So you're facing Mike Trout. Mike Trout has been relatively held in check for this series against the Angels. But not anymore. Mike Trout, boom. Right over the wall, home run, 2-1 game. And you're thinking, oh, Chris Davinsky finally gets a chance to close out a game for the Houston Astros. And he gives up a home run. And you would think that A.J. Hinch would say, okay, enough. But credit to A.J. Hinch, he stuck with Davinsky, even though it started to get a little more rocky for the Astros in the 9th inning. The pressure was mounting for Davinsky. Now, to truly tell you exactly what happened, I gotta pull up my notes. I can't do this by memory. So in the 9th inning, we already talked about Mike Trout getting that massive home run to make it a 1-run game. And after that, we had, Crone. He singled. So not only that, Albert Pujols. There we go. Duh. Albert Pujols bats after Mike Trout. So he gets Albert Pujols to fly out. Crone knocks a single. The Angels come up with another single, so you got 2 runners on. Then you get the double steal. I don't know if it's double steal, more of an indifference, because Davinsky wasn't really worried one bit whatsoever about the runners. He was 100% focused on what was going on at the plate. And then after that, after a big breath, a sigh of relief, Brett Strom coming to the hill, he settled down and ended up getting Cameron Maybin and Danny Espinosa to strike out to end the game. Massive amounts of pressure, but he ended up getting the save. So kudos for Chris Davinsky. I believe it's his 2nd career save, his first save this season. So good job by Davinsky, good job by the Astros pitching overall. Lance McCullers dropped down his ERA. I think he's at 3.38 now. So they got the 1-2 punch with him and Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel was sub-1 ERA, and then Lance McCullers is quickly getting close to that sub-3 ERA. So that 1-2 punch that you really needed for the Houston Astros is starting to really kick into gear. Now, before I finish off this game, I should mention Carlos Correa did play in Thursday's game, so looks like his hand issue is not going to be any problem going forward. So let's kind of move on to the upcoming series for the Houston Astros, and I want to give credit to Brian Arbor. I hope Brian Arbor. If you're listening, thank you for the question on Twitter. He asked, who is going to be the next bat to get hot come the Rays series? Well, I did some research, and when I was looking at the Rays and the Astros history just in general, I was shocked, downright dismayed at how poorly the Astros have played against the Rays. And I kind of knew they struggled. I didn't imagine it was that bad, though. The Astros have been halfway decent for the past couple seasons, and yet they are 7-13 against the Rays in the past 3 years. Did not see that at all. Did not see that. And just looking at the overall stats at the Houston Astros at Tropicana Field, I'll just run down them real quick for you, and you can tell me who you think, Brian, is going to be hitting from this group. You got Carlos Correa, a 200 batting average. George Springer, a 148 batting average. Carlos Beltran, a 190 batting average. Brian McCann, 234. Evan Gattis, 045. Nori Aoki, I kind of thought would hit pretty well at Tropicana Field. I was wrong! 250. Josh Reddick, 215. Jose Altuve is your one saving grace. He's batting 320. And, the Houston Astros are definitely going to need one of those guys to step up. If not, they could be looking at a pretty rough series. And they're going to need runs, because you're getting into the, I don't want to say the weaker part of the rotation, but the part of the rotation that's a little bit softer than that 1-2 of Dallas Keuchel and Lance McCullers. You're going to go with Charlie Morton. You're going to get Mike Fiers and Joe Musgrove over these next couple starts. Luckily enough, you're going to be missing Chris Archer, so that's a bullet dodged. But you're going to need someone to step up. And one of the guys that I think is desperate for a breakout right now is Carlos Correa. He's just coming back off the hand injury. Right now, he is batting a cool 224 on the season. We all know the type of talent that Carlos Correa has inside of him, so I hope that this is going to be the series that we see Carlos Correa get back on track. The good news for the Houston Astros over in this season, the road Astros have hit pretty well from the home Astros. 302 batting average while on the road. Small sample size, only 5 games, but still not bad for the Houston Astros. 5 games? 6 games? So whatever. It's still a small sample size. But a 302 batting average is nothing to sneeze at. So my best guess is I'm hoping that Carlos Correa is going to be the one that breaks out. I don't think we need to worry about Jose Altuve. I think he'll be fine. I do wonder if maybe Jake Marisnick might get a little bit more run during this series. He just had a home run. I remember AJ Hinch, was it last year that he said, or maybe it was, I think it was last year. Hinch mentioned that, hey, if you hit a home run, I got to put you in the lineup the next game. That did not always was the same case in the next game, but maybe you should bring that policy back. Who knows? It's getting pretty loud here. I don't really know what else to jib-jab about. I'm going to wrap this up, but this is a very important series or road trip for the Houston Astros. They've got 3 games against the Rays, which I already mentioned they struggle against, and they're going to be facing the Indians, who are a team that you're going to have to face off against potentially in the playoffs, and someone that's going to be a thorn in your side come when you match up with them in the regular season as well. So you're going to want to get some wins here against these 2 teams, and I think if you come out of this road trip with a winning road trip, you'll really start to see if there was anybody out there that hadn't bought into the Houston Astros, if they come out with a winning road trip, you're going to see people buying into the Houston Astros. I think they were ranked number 1 on ESPN's power ranking, but coming out of this series is going to be a big deal for the Houston Astros. And it's going to really kind of cement them as a top contender in the AL. Guys, I'm going to bounce it out of here. I've got plenty of other crap I got to do. I'm still working on a Brad Peacock story after all. I talked to him after the game, so look for that story on my Twitter. I will make sure to tweet that out. Guys, I'm going to bounce it out of here. If this is your first time watching this video or this series of videos that I do, my name is Josh Reese. I cover sports here in Houston. Feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know some content that you guys would like to see. I appreciate feedback, and feel free to tell your friends. And guys, make sure to share. Make sure to try the veal.